Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another edition of Awesomecallstrading.com on the great YouTube channel. Thank you. I want to welcome everyone aboard today's. We had a great morning session. What was interesting today was the stocks are giving us a lot of pullback today, which is really nice. And so it's given us some buying opportunity, like we can buy Light again and Boeing and uh, Apple. I don't really care. Nvidia is kind of selling off finally, taking a deep breath. It's had a hell of a run all the way to 180 from 150 when they bought MLNX. We had some really nice plays today, and today um, I personally was watching when I got up this morning. I was actually watching Twitter, and I don't normally like care too much because I'm so focused on the energy I have to put in to find the pre-market notes and the ideas for traders, because my main purpose is to make sure the traders in the room are taken care of, that they have opportunities and they can make money. And what I found was there was just so many people that could not find things, and then they created things. And created means they kind of just find little, you know, stocks that don't even move, and then they announce something like it's going to be a big thing, and then it pops, and then they sell into it, which to me that's not trading, obviously. And I just found a lot of people just couldn't find stuff. And every day I work hard and do a lot of research to find 12 plus ideas to help traders make money. And it doesn't matter if it's penny stock, small cap, mid cap, large cap, an offering, bio news, FDA approvals, primary endpoint mets. It doesn't really matter if it's gapped up for no reason. If I feel the market's going to sell off, I do my homework. And of course, I have the benefit of trading for almost 15, 16 years in the business. So, I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to finding really good quality plays at the same time. So, I want to share with you our setups today in our great room. And I want you to understand that these are found around 3:30, 4 o'clock, all the way up to 5 in the morning, 5:30. I'm fine-tuning the list. At about 35, 45 minutes before the opening bell, I begin writing these notes down. So what you see is actually written down before the opening bell, at least 10 minutes before the bell opens. Within 10 minutes before the bell, I go over each idea. And basically what I'm giving the traders is exactly where stock's going to pop, push at the open, where it's going to come down, what to expect, how to trade the stock for today, what to look for. And this way, when you're especially a day trader, the whole key to day trading is not trying to get in too early, too fast, but just wait for the setup. There's certain ones that I automatically tell you this will come down crashing hard, so look for a pullback on it immediately. And those are really fun stocks. My friend Ripster really heard me loud and clear on ARGX, and I'll show that to you, um, how I wanted to short the stock from 129. Also added a new position to NEO at, I believe it was $4.97. I do believe long term that will be, and I'm willing to add to 4 on that. I just like the stock and where it's from and the volume it gives and so forth. So, and I also own another position at $5.66. I added a little bit more today. Obviously, I'm down on that one right now, but I'm just going to be patient. Market's been really selling off. AMD is now like 25.50 from 27 this morning. And looking at Boeing. And so anyway, I'm going to go into what we did, and I hope you like it. I hope that I'm sure your chat room didn't play half of these. And it's not, I keep saying this almost every day to you. It's really because they just don't understand these moves, and they won't trade them for you. And so what that does is when you kind of do the same thing every day, and you trade a Nvidia, an MU, and the basic Facebook, and you're doing it almost every single day, the same stuff. You really, you're not, to me, being trained to be an overall great trader. You're limiting your own ability because there are rooms out there that just really want to make it simple, stupid for you because they don't think that you're smart enough to expand your brain. And I don't believe that. In Awesome Calls Trading, I treat everyone as if they're a pro. When they walk in, even if they're a newbie, I want them to feel like, hey, you can do this. It doesn't matter if it's a bio trade, an FDA offering. It doesn't matter. And when it's a pro walks in, I'm really all over them to just take them to a whole nother level of trading. Explain the news versus the chart, because usually a pro that comes in here is a very technical trader. He or she understands the technical side of the chart. But when you trade the news alongside that, that's when you do the more shares, and you can add more shares, um, and you make more money. And so it's really important every day that I really educate a day trader, to the best of my ability to say, hey, this is what I've learned over the last 16 years on this particular stock trading. So I want to share it with you so you don't make mistakes. And what I've learned in this room, what I've really enjoyed for the last almost going on 6 years of Awesome Calls Trading, is the fact that really nobody blows up their account. And I mean like blows up, where you see these small cap rooms, the guy blows up. He makes, let's say, over a whole month, he makes 3,200, and then in one stupid trade, he loses $5,000, and he's down 1,200. You see, I don't do that. I don't do that. I really try hard to emphasize: take your 50 cents, take your dollar, uh, move your stops up, pay yourself along the way. I'm really an advocate of that because I believe in risk reward. I don't like traders when they're down 2, 3 points, and then they go, hey, should I add some more here? It's like, you have to have some common sense too. You have to respect money. And then obviously you're not respecting money when you're down 5 or 6 points and you're just kind of, and there's no volume in the trade. It's like, what are you waiting for? You can't do that. You have to be smart with your money. If something doesn't work, you cut it. Today, I must have did a dozen trades, from Boeing to, what was it? Roku, PAYC, Apple, some Tesla, um, Con. But where I messed up today was Roku myself. I couldn't find that bottom. And with the CEO coming in, I could have made my money, but I just happened to sell before he started talking. It was just crazy. But I'm going to show you what some really good quality setups we did this morning, because I think you're going to be really impressed with how we came out of the gate and what we were looking for. Okay? So we are going to start with a company called Light. And the reason why I want to start with this is because Light was an overnight. And we bought the weakness yesterday at $51.74. That was my actual average holding overnight. And I only had 300 shares. And I was looking for it to reclaim $54 and then sell right into the pop. And I was so excited because a lot of traders did follow this trade with me yesterday. And I was really happy that today, and I'll show you the trade. The stock is called Light, L-I-T-E. And we were shooting for 54. And I want to thank Fire Trader. Brad, he did a nice thing on a, what do you call it, Instagram. He took a screenshot of it, and he emphasized that AJ did tell us to go long. Here was the stock this morning, yesterday. I was long here. I was averaging, so my average was 51.77 or 74. But a lot of people got actually better pricing than I did in the room, 51.50, 51.40. I know Joel did, I think, 51.55. And I was really emphasizing I wanted to get to $54 a share today for a nice paycheck. And if you did, I did 300 shares, so you can do the math. And I actually sold early on the pop here at 53.09, right around here. And as soon as I sold right here, it popped on me to 30. I was like, ah! But it's okay. And the stock ended up going almost to 54 a share. I was just missed it by about 16 cents. It was a great, great overnight trade. And I really read that really well. And but the room, I shared that with the room, and stock just under $54 a share. So that's a pretty good trade right there. It's about 3 points into the money. So actually 2+ points into the money. So if you had 300 shares, you made $600 just on one trade. So I was really happy about that. Now I'm going to take you into a stock called ALDX. Now this morning, You know, listen, I've been trading for 16 years. All right. I understand BIOS. I know how they work. I know understand phase one, phase two, phase three, and FDA approval. And I really have just a very sixth sense how these stocks work. A lot of you don't. And so a lot of you actually, I hate to say it, but out there in the public world, on Twitter reel, in Facebook world, and Instagram world, you hate what you don't understand. And that's just a common thing. You argue and fight because you hate what you don't understand. But when you sit down and you trade for 10, 15 years and you watch the same chart patterns, you read the same news, it becomes like it's like a second, it's like your blood in your skin, in your system. And you see things differently. And so today on ALDX, I saw 950. I saw $10 initially, and then 950 it was going to sell off to. And that's all I saw. I didn't see 14, 15, 16 like a lot of you on Twitterville did, or maybe even the upgrades called out. I didn't see that. And the reason is because my experience tells me on phase threes, depending on what kind of phase three it is, primary endpoint or not, typically I get a sell off on it. And so today I told everyone it was our number one pick, and I made it our number one pick because I wanted everyone to make money. And even if you never traded in your life, I wanted the stock to pop at the open towards 13, and then I wanted you to short the stock to 950 to 10. That's it. That's the trade. This was not you know, this was not a trade to argue with. It was cut and dry. I made it very clear. Phase three results met primary endpoint. That's wonderful. Great. It was a $7 stock. This is going to pop it open towards 13, and it's going to fade to 950 to 10. That's it. Trade is done. You don't have to think. I did the thinking for you. All right. So if you had 1,000 shares at 13,000 buying power, I'll show you what happened. I'll show you the potential money you could have made in the room. Okay. So I said the stock would pop at the open. Right. Ding, 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 ding. And the stock hit $12.80. I said towards 13. Pulled, lower low set in. There's your short. That's it right there. $12.17 is where you start. $12.15, $12.10, $12, whatever. It doesn't matter. And now I want you to see the stock. Stock is, I want it to hit 950. The stock currently it hit, I believe, $9 and hold on. Stock hit right there, 957. So far I'm 7 cents off. I still think that by the time it closes, we will hit the 950. And again, it's just, this is a typical trade. If you did 1,000 shares with us at $12 and you sold at 950, you make, I think, $2,500 on one trade. But obviously you want to take money on the way down and pay yourself because that's really, really important. Always got to pay yourself. All right. Next trade I did was, I could pick anything I want, PAYC. This was a beautiful trade for me personally. This was actually just gapping up actually for no reason. I was staring at it this morning and I was just like, why is this up? And so I started doing research, and these are the great stocks that I love. If the market's gapping up, like I told you yesterday, I looked when the market gaps up. The market was gapping up 100 points, right? So 100, 150 points. So I knew, okay, so this is gapping up just because of the market. So I immediately went into this response that the stock is going to gap fill, and it's a short. So I wanted everyone to go short the stock at 189 and above. I wanted it to come down to 185 and go long and back up to 188. And I played this perfectly. I believe I went long at 185.19 or something in front of everyone, and I ripped it to 187 and I sold it on the pop. I love, 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 love this trade. It is a beautiful setup. No ands, ifs, or buts. I didn't have to talk about it. I just had to execute the trade in front of it. And for 250 shares and you get a point and a half, it's $400 of income. And it's just a nice addition to your daily goal. And I knew the setup was set up perfectly because there was no news on the gap up. I didn't think it would fully gap all the way up, and the reason is it wouldn't because the market was gapping up so much. I didn't sense that they would fill the full gap. So therefore, if you look at my notes, I made it very clear that I wanted the stock to come down to 185. See that? Short at 188, room to 190, take it to 185 and go long. Back up. See? That's the call. I'm going to give you another one. I'm going to give you AMD. Now, I saw NVIDIA, and I'm going to give you NVIDIA too at the same time. Now, these two were gapping up on the market, but I really felt today, I don't know, there was just a sixth sense I had that AMD was going to sell off and NVIDIA was going to sell off. And so what I did is I prepared everyone in the chat room and I said, okay, NVIDIA is going to pop at the open towards 181. When it does that, scale in short. And I want you to walk this down to 175 today. Now, I know you're going to sit there like, well, how do you know that? It's just, this thing has had a run since they bought MLNX. I mean, you've had a 30-point run. At some point, I felt the stock was getting exhausted, and I felt it was time for it to come down. And today, I just kind of eyeballed it and said, you know what? I see this hitting 175. So if this pops at 181, scale in short, take it down, write it all the way down to 175. Then I went after AMD, another chart, because usually AMD and Nevada, they run pretty much parallel to each other. So it's pretty easy for me to understand. With AMD, I had a nice gap up. What you don't know about AMD is when they sell off pretty aggressive. And they do hundreds of millions of shares. So it's very liquid. So you could do 100,000 share orders, 50,000 share orders, and it's like you basically cover to the penny. And so on this one, I said that the stock would go to 27 at the open, scaling short, and take it all the way down to 26.50 and under. Ended up going to 25.50. I mean, just nonstop. NVIDIA, I said, would go to 181, scaling short, take it down to 175. And these give really great opportunities for any trader in the world to walk in, pro or not, amateur, doesn't matter. And if you look at how I wrote it up, it was very clear cut how I wanted it. Okay, so AMD, I want this to pop towards 27 and then short at 26.25 and under. All right, and then on NVIDIA, I said I want it to pop to 181 and go to 175. That's it. Those were the calls. I don't know what else to tell you. It's just this is how we trade in here. I mean, my job is to find the stock and nail it. You know, that's what people hire us for. I'm going to give you another one. It's called Con. Now, Con was really interesting because a lot of people didn't really understand this one. But the problem with Con was it had kind of mixed earnings. And mixed means that you meet your, what you should have done last quarter, but then you give really crappy guidance, or same sell stores are down, which in this case, same stores were negative by 5% versus 1%. So to me, I felt the stock was going to probably sell off at the open, and I really wanted to pull. But the beauty of this was I had a conference call coming. So I knew that if I could do this, I thought to myself, you know what, this would be really good. If I can drive this down to 22 and under, I know I could take it back up again. If it popped at the open, I was going to short it, but I wanted 22 and under because I wanted to hit the 24.60 again. I was really, really kind of like eyeing this 22 and under, and then go into the conference call long and take it to 24.60 and above. And I want you to see the call. It was a beautiful trade if you executed it in the room. Stock is called Con. And this is you can see how, now another thing too, when you look at these kind of setups, what happens is they tend to be all over the place on earnings because they're up, down, because at one point they did good, but then their earnings, then the guidance got hit, then the same store sales hit. So investors are just all over the place. But I knew that the conference call was coming, and this was the key thing. This was the money call. And whenever I see the money call coming, I really get excited because I think the CEO is going to do his part to make the stock go up. So I'll kind of show you how it worked out. And you can see the call was coming, and I made it very clear. It actually came on my break time. So your Boeing is going up, AJ. Oh, I'm currently long. When I started the webinar, I took Boeing at 368.30. I got filled, and I wanted to, because I lost on Roku. a couple times. So I wanted to, if I hit 370, I make all my Roku money up. So I thought I'd take a trade while I'm doing the webinar live. So I'll show you the trade. It's right here. I went right here, 368.30 is my fill, and it's right now moving up. And I will sell this at 370 for $1.70 in the money. All right, so let's go back to what I was talking about on con. All right, so here we go. So con, I wanted to pull to $22 a share. So here's 22, and I wanted you to log 22. And I'm looking for 2460, which was actually pre-market here. It hit 2460. So I wanted 2460 or more. And I want you to see the stock. And the stock is now 24.97. You see how beautiful that is? 22 was the entry because that's where I told you to go long. And you had plenty of time to get in. It wasn't like it was going anywhere. There's your 22. And there's your 2460. And see how it hit it already? And this is just extra money for you. But if you believe in what we're doing in here, this becomes just like done, you know? And the reason why was because even though they had mixed earnings, it wasn't a total disaster on the quarter. And I just kind of felt that this would probably get back up to the 2460 area, if not even a little bit more. So I was pretty adamant to go long at 22. Really nice trade. So that was that one. Then I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you. I could do Apple all day. I called my Apple 192. I called Tesla 270. I mean, I was on fire today. But I'm going to give you a Bed Bath and Beyond. All right, this will be my 7th idea, and I'll tell you why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bed Bath and Beyond to me was I don't know. I was looking at it, and first of all, it had a huge gap. I mean, you're a $14 stock, and you're gapping up in pre-market all the way to 16. So something was going seriously big. Then you ran all the way almost to 17 in pre-market. You could see right here. So I felt this was just, I need to read the news because, you know, you have to read why is it coming up. So I went and I look, Bed Bath & Beyond, and I check it out, and it says that that they want to replace the whole board, the CEO, everyone. Just they want everyone gone, the board, everything. Because let's face it, and let me tell you, the underwriters loved it. The analysts, I mean, B of A was out all just like going crazy for this. I mean, they have been dying for it. But the problem is, what you have to understand is, it's one thing to say, I want to get rid of the board and the CEO, and then it's another to execute it. Okay, so nobody's gone yet. There's nobody got fired. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah, are you listening to me? Because you need to understand that. I'm trying to find it for you where it says Bed Bath & Beyond this morning, right here. Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's see, right here. This news right here basically says that we want to replace the investing group wants to replace the board of directors and the CEO. So because they're underperforming, that's great, but you still have to go. It's not done yet. It's different when you go in there and just fire everyone, but nobody's fired yet. They're still working. Everybody's still working. So nothing has really changed. So why are we giving the stock more value if it hasn't done? You see the common sense? So for me as a trader, as a day trader, I'm not going to marry this stock. I don't care what it does down the road. I care about how I'm going to trade it today. How does this news affect the trade today? Well, to me, this stock should sell off, you know, because what you want and what's happening are two different things. All right. So until it happens, I'm going to short the stock and bring it back down. And does it bring value? Well, it's telling the analysts, hey, we're trying to make changes. But to me, now it's not going to fully gap fill. That's for sure. You could kiss that goodbye. But I would love to get it back down to 15, over the next day or two. But as a day trade, I want to short this. I want to find the topping and just short the stock. Okay. So on Bed Bath & Beyond, gapping up 4. I like the news. This is up way too much. So I'd be eyeing the short side of stock. Watch for the topping on it, which is probably around the 18 area, and then fade it to 1650. And then once it breaks 1650, stock should hit the 15. I'm short side minded on the stock. So I just told everyone, just wait for it, and then in pre-market, and then when the market hit and it opened, I could just sense, I kept saying, traders, it's not quite ready. It probably has room to 18. And it right here, it just topped off right there around that 18. It was really staying strong at that 18, and then it finally collapsed. And I want to go to 1650, which we're almost there, because I want to break this flag here. So I want 1650. And then from there, we can go to 15. And that's what I'm waiting for. So just a nice overall fade. I was really impressed. And I could throw in one more, I guess I could do. Probably Apple. Apple was a good call if you played the put action. Apple, I wanted 192 and pop at the open, then fade it to 190. So the stock is now 187. I felt that was topping off too. And then I'm going to end the webinar with just a really interesting trade today. This one just blew me away. And I'll be doing some homework on it tonight because I really need to understand. Hunt is a thin stock. I know none of you traded it today. And this actually scared the crap out of me because I thought it was going to 100. I had this long out of the gate in the 30s. And I said probably go to 32 because pre-market was sitting at 26, 27, as you can see pre-market right here. So I told traders I probably long it to 32 and watch for topping and short it. But let me tell you something. Look at this. This is insane. I can't take credit for the trade because I can't say, yeah, I saw this to 50 or 60 or 70. I can't do that. That's just not reality. I didn't see it. But it just goes to show you the crazy market we're in. And do you know why this was even up? And what I found was really interesting on it was when I read the news right here. I'll show it to you. Hunt. It wasn't on briefing at all. Briefing had no idea what this was. But what this morning when I got up, I was reading the news right here, and they were thinking about buying a stock. Hold on, it was right here. Yeah, right here. Come on. Resume trading, pause trading, announces merger. Oh, it's right here. This is where I saw it. They announced the completion merger with MCF Holdings. And it's just swapping shares. But there was no actual set price, which it really kind of got me. And it was already gapping up almost 20 points. So I felt I could probably short this stock pretty good. But the problem is it was so thin. And if you read the news, Hunter issued 200 million shares of Class Common shares to the former NCF Wealth Fund for the merger. 200 million shares, Class A shares. This stock doesn't even trade more than, what, 20,000 shares? I mean, this is just nuts. And NCF was entitled to receive up to 50 million shares of common class. So there was really no set price. So I'm sitting there going, well, I want to short the pop. But let me tell you something. This was insane. I mean, this is the kind of market we're in. If you had bought 100 shares and you just let it rip, I mean, you caught 40 points, which is $4,000 on 100 shares. I don't have any words for this. If you had bought 250 shares, you would have made $10,000 today on 250 shares. It just ripped 40 points on. I mean, it was insane. Never seen anything like it. So what I'm going to have to do, seriously, is just study my ass off tonight and figure out, because knowing this, I would like to trade 150 shares, 200 shares, risk 5 points and for a 20-point trade. I mean, who wouldn't? But I got to understand it first. And you can't chart this. I mean, how are you going to trade this? You're going to really chart it? Chart it on what? There's your chart. What are you going to chart? It's a $10 stock. What are you charting? I mean, the most it's popped was 68 cents. What are you going to chart? Stock's sitting at 10 bucks and today it's 70. What are you charting? So this is homework for me. I will spend hours on this evening, trying to figure this one out. And the more I understand, the more I can, next time I see something like this, I can present it to the traders in the room so they can make 10,000, 3,000, 2,000 on very little money. As I'm talking to you, the stock already ripped 6 points, 7 points now. You see that? Because I'm talking about it. It's just a crazy stock. And the spreads are wide. Look at the level twos. Look at that, 50 to 52.69. This is just a crazy stock. It really is. But hey, it is what it is. Okay. So that's it. ALDX, Light, PAYC, AMD, NVIDIA, Con, PBY, and I think I said ARGX, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ARGX. Yeah. Okay, so enjoy. I'm still in Boeing. I'm looking for 370 to cash out. I'm almost there. Matter of fact, if you can wait a few minutes, I can sell it in front of your face for a 0.30 because I'm AJ. So I'm already up all my Roku money now, traders. All my Roku money that I lost, I'm already up. And if I can get 370, it's 369.60. So I'm currently up $1.30. And if I can get 370, I will get $1.70 on this trade. And I get all my money back from Roku. So you see it, traders? This is a trade I took just when I started the webinar, right around here. So, and I only have, I'm trying to see if I can close it out. I'm almost there. I think I can get 370 in front of your face. There we go, 363. See it right here? It's just moving up. If I can get 370, my goal is 370. I need 40 cents. Wouldn't this be great to watch me how I make money? And what this does too is it really shows any trader in the world that's watching this webinar live. Hold on, I got 82. A little bit more, AJ. Come on, baby. I need 18 cents right in front of everyone's face. Some of you guys didn't take the trade. That's okay. You're scared. That's all right. Fear. That's all right. It's okay. It happens. I don't get scared. I'm here to make money. There's 95. All right. So I'll take that. I got it. Just under 370. You see it? Look at it. Traders is done. There's 370. Bam. Right in front of your face. All right. Now we can stop the webinar. So that's how you make $1.50 while watching the webinar. All right. Thank you so much for joining this great chat room. Roderick, I just did that trade with you, AJ. Thank you so much. No, thank you. I am now green across the board, traders. Roku's loss has been taken care of. Thank you so much. All right. And this is the closure of our webinar. So thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.